Hey, Jim Dunaway from the next round. We're ready to relive the weekend in Southeastern Conference football with our friends at Cowin Equipment. We're fired up for another year. Before we look back, though, let me remind you, our friends at Cowin Equipment would love the opportunity to partner with your company for your heavy equipment needs. Visit Cowin.com to find out more about how Cowin can be your heavy equipment solution, from rental and new equipment sales to great service and parts. Check out Cowin Equipment's rental fleet hit list for a wide range of well-maintained equipment from their rental fleet for sale right now. Go to the website, Cowin.com, Cowin.com. Now let's talk a little football. Now to the soundbite that just will make you bang your head against the wall if your coach or your team is not playing good. Here's Jimbo Fisher.
Jimbo, why do you think you can turn this around?
Oh, I mean, we have good players and we got a good. I mean, we're right there. It's not like we're getting ran out of the stadium. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but we're at the same time, it doesn't matter whether you ran out of one play. You're right there close, but guys are right there, and how hard they're playing and the belief they have in what we're doing. And we just got to keep executing. We'll find a way to make a play or two, and all of a sudden you'll get over the hump. That's just the way it goes.
We're close, man. Wow. We're close. You just lost at South Carolina.
And gave it away. I mean, I love what Shane Beamer's doing. You guys know we love him on the show. He's got his team in the top 25. But, Lance, first play out of the gate, out of your bye week, you give up a 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. First offensive possession, you throw an interception that's darn near a pick six that leads to more points. Your quarterback's walking up to check off at the line of scrimmage 2 possessions later, and you snap it into his chest. It bounces over the line of scrimmage right into a defender's hands, who then runs it, and they get another touchdown. I mean,
what was that Benny Hill soundtrack that would always play when he would be running?
Yeah, I mean, that was the highlights from the first half. I mean, LT, you feel like if you're an A&M fan, just stupid, undisciplined play gave it away.
Yeah, I mean, look, that offense is unwatchable.
It's terrible.
Now. And I just don't know. Instead of saying, hey, we're not getting run out of the stadium, admit it, we're not doing enough. I mean, I've been here 5 years. In 4 of the 5 years, I've had at least 4 losses.
But Bruce Feldman puts it in a nice set of tweets right here. Texas A&M has now lost its last 4 games against unranked FBS opponents, and Jimbo Fisher is 2-6 in the Aggies' last 8 against FBS competition. And I think Forrester has the rest of this. Here we go. The Aggies last in the SEC. It's on your screen. The Aggies last in the SEC in scoring, number 111th in the nation. They've also gone 9 games against FBS opponents without scoring more than 24 points. Tomorrow, and this tweet was sent Saturday, so it was yesterday, marks a calendar year since A&M scored more than that in a game. A calendar year.
It's impossible.
Since Texas A&M has scored more than 24 points in a game. Now, remember a few weeks ago when Shane Beamer got upset at a reporter when they asked him? He even cut the question off.
Yep.
When they asked, have they quit?
Yeah.
Shane Beamer, after they beat Texas A&M this weekend.
It was just a little over a month ago, I sat in here after the Georgia game and got asked, did I sense any quit in this football team? That looked like that team's quit. So since that day, we've won 4 straight for the first time since 2013. We just beat who did we beat? Kentucky on the road 2 weeks ago up in Lexington for the first time since 2012. And we just beat Texas A&M for the first time ever. So, no, there's no quit in this team. We got a bunch of freaking fighters on this team that love each other and play for one another and care about each other, and it showed out there tonight. As ugly as it was at times, they never flinched, and they just kept coming back, and we talked about we're a second-half team, and we get better as the game goes, and we did.
I already showed you Bruce Feldman with the crackback block on Jimbo Fisher scoring. It's Shane Beamer who beat Texas A&M this weekend. Stuart Mandel, the head writer at The Athletic, the guy who is the main columnist, tweets this out. Shane Beamer already has a better program than Jimbo Fisher at 29% of the cost. Wow. Yeah.
Holy crap, that is a...
I'm telling you, your fear for South Carolina is losing Beamer.
Yeah. I mean,
he's doing so well.
Yeah, I mean, again, last year for him to be able to navigate 7 wins was amazing. I think he's even doing a better job this year.
That is an excellent punchline as we look at Shane Beamer. But do you believe that? Do you think Shane Beamer's got a better program than Jimbo Fisher?
No. I mean,
I don't know if I would either.
Yeah.
It's a great punchline.
It is.
I mean, I think Stewart might have just done it for the laughs, and I'm all about that. I do that all the time.
Yep.
But I'm not sure it's 100% true.
Yeah. Good win for South Carolina this weekend, as we had said on our pregame show and last week here on our main show, that there is a point right here that Shane Beamer can win some games and get to 8 wins before they finish the year with Tennessee and Clemson.
I didn't think we played well. I didn't think we played well at all. I'll tell you one thing that they do that gives us trouble. We've got some guys that are afraid of the jersey that says Alabama on it. We spend a lot of time frightened of their jerseys. You know, you want to scare some of the guys on our team. Put an Alabama jersey on; it'll scare the hell out of them.
Leach for me falls below the line because remember his system's never even won a division.
Yeah.
And by the way, the sound, everyone thinks it's so great when Mike Leach, isn't Mike Leach great? The guy throws his players under the bus more than any other head coach in college football. And it pisses me off. It pisses me off. Like this guy, he's good for you, Mike. You're so smart. And look at you. You're so funny. Screw you, man. Every year, every time his team plays poorly, it's the players' fault, and they're this, and they're going to go to their fat little girlfriends, and we're too scared of the uniform. We'll coach them better.
My best of the weekend. Can you give me Will Rogers, Forrester?
Yeah, a lot of people have put this in the chat room, too, that this is their best of the weekend.
This is fantastic. Yeah. Will Rogers, no offense, a late touchdown. They finally score a touchdown against Alabama. This is Will Rogers leaving Bryant-Denny Stadium. He noticed a Alabama event staff worker who was having a hard time making it up the steep ramp there, and he decided to help her walk up the ramp there. I mean, what a great...
That's really cool. Yep.
And that's the video's from the athletic director at Mississippi State, so I'm pretty familiar with that dude. That's not a stage thing there. It's not like Will Rogers for Heisman. We're going to stage this, help this older lady up the ramp there. You just lost a game. You're on a pretty bad losing streak at State right now. Didn't go exactly the way you wanted it to go, and you take the time to help someone who's struggling to make it up that ramp there. That's pretty cool.
It just feels different. Look, and I know that was a dominant defensive performance. You kind of expected it. Mississippi State just doesn't match up well with Alabama.
Yeah.
But, we talked about it on the post game. I mean, it was like a B performance. You get
flat B,
outgained.
yeah.
You can't run the football. I don't know. It was a weird game.
And then there's the Jermaine Burton situation. And this is what Nick Saban said afterwards. Burton started. He played in the game, and I think he got targeted 4 times in the contest. And
made a big catch on the sideline.
we all had seen the video of the very blurry video, but we knew what we thought had happened. And then Nick Saban, they investigated the situation. They said they were going to discipline him internally. They have done that. But he played in the game, and Nick Saban said this afterwards.
Nick, there was obviously a question this week. What went into the decision to play Burton?
Look, I don't know how many of you have ever been in a situation like that, but I talked to him. He was scared. I was scared. Some of our other players were scared. I think you learn to respect other people because we have a responsibility to do that regardless of the circumstance that we're in. And, I talked to the guy. We have him in a counseling program. It's not an anger management program, as people announced today. Nobody ever said that. That's not the problem. That's not the issue. But it's about having the proper respect for other people. And, I didn't think it was necessary to suspend the guy. So if you knew the whole story, maybe you wouldn't either. But I'm not going to divulge that.
Brian Kelly trending really, really good now. For those that started to question whether Brian Kelly could get it done at LSU, people were doing that before it started. Is he really a good coach? Trending in a good direction.
Legit shot at Atlanta.
You talk about picking up pieces of when things weren't going well. Losing that first game on a blocked extra point did not look good at Auburn. It just survived Jordan-Hare Stadium and win, but now they are playing really good football.
Yeah, they are, and it starts with Jaden Daniels. And, he's doing it not only with the legs, he's doing it with his arms. And I never expected – I thought Jaden Daniels would end up being the starting quarterback. I didn't think he'd be able to play at this level. And Look, they lose on the blocked extra point, game they should have won, or you've got a feeling if it goes to overtime, they win that game with the momentum they had at the end there. They win that game, they're a top 10 team right now. And they did get run off the field against Tennessee, but Tennessee is considered one of the best teams in college football right now. Outside of that, LSU has looked really good.
They have. And a legit shot at Atlanta. Now, they got to beat Alabama next Saturday. And what should be, it'll probably be announced today, should be a primetime night game there in Tiger Stadium. I don't know what the point spread will be.
And it'll probably be 3 straight weeks of having Fowler, Herbstreit, and Holly do SEC ESPN games.
Yeah, maybe so. They may do that one. What's the point spread, do you think?
I think it'll be Alabama 11.
Alabama favored by double digits. I mean, that's the way Bama plays on the road. In that environment, it'll be juiced, because they see the road to Atlanta. I mean, that's going to be a tough one.
This stat doesn't work anymore because LSU, by the way, back into the national rankings, they go from unranked all the way up to number 18 after beating Ole Miss. The last time LSU had beaten a top 10 opponent as an unranked team, can you guess a year?
Last time LSU beat a top 10 as an unranked? LSU hasn't played a whole lot of unranked football over the last decade or so.
98.
Yeah.
1983.
83.
Yeah, when the Tigers beat number 9 Washington. That's an amazing stat that unranked LSU team beating a top 10 team. It doesn't happen a lot, right? LSU is usually a ranked team. So that's crazy.
They were outgained 200-80 yard-wise in the first quarter. They were down 17-3, and for them to be able to make those adjustments and to blow out Ole Miss, and that's what they did. They really ran them off the field. That was impressive.
Yeah, and to me, that's what really steps up, LT, is that you have everything Lane is doing is working, and we know what Lane is as a play caller. It's working 17-3, and then the LSU coaches were able to do something. The LSU coaches were able to do something on the adjustment side that Lane couldn't counter. And not only did it work, it put them in a quagmire. 42-3, you get outscored after leading 17-3. That was a monumental coaching move. And I'm not saying it's Brian Kelly. I'm saying Brian Kelly's staff. I mean, that was a great adjustment by them in that game.
But Brian Kelly's a really good football coach. Yeah. And I don't know why he's so polarizing among our audience, but he is. A lot of people think we're idiots for saying that. I think he's just showing you. Now, I don't know that he's going to beat Alabama. I'm not saying that, but he's a good football coach.
Mark over in the chat room says the early line, 16.5. You were saying 11 is where you would put it.
Yeah, we'll see where it comes. Obviously Alabama's got the bye this week.
So does LSU.
Yeah, so does LSU, and we'll see. I 16.5. I mean, that's
hefty,
really high,
especially with Alabama's struggles on the road. Before we go to break and get to John Samuel Schinker, a little Brian Kelly in the locker room, Rockstar. Give me a little cut 5 here. I mean, everyone who's an LSU fan reacting on social media saying, I would run through a wall after this comment. Here's Brian Kelly from our friends on LSU football Twitter.
October is for pretenders. November is for contenders!
Yeah. Very simple words.
I'll tell you, man. So Harold Perkins, true freshman linebacker for them, really going to be a really good player. And he gets a personal foul. And Brian Kelly pulled him over, gave him an ass chewing, and asked him, do you want to go back onto the field? And he said, yeah. He sent him back out. Played well after that. I mean,
he did. True freshman, right?
Yep. Brian Kelly, I mean, a lot of people don't like him for whatever reason. The guy can coach. Ain't no doubt about it. He will win a national championship there.
Oh, and that's brought to you by our friends at Cowin Equipment.
Hey, Cowin Equipment, proud to partner with the next round on our venture. Would love the opportunity to partner with your company for your heavy equipment needs. Visit us. Go to Cowin.com to find out more about how we can be your heavy equipment solution from rental and new equipment sales to superior service and parts. Again, for more information, Cowin.com.